You are about to hear a story, not just a story of two countries, but of people, of fear and courage, of borders and choices, of silence and fire, India and Pakistan. Two nations, standing face to face. The world watches, the people wait. One wrong move, and everything could change. This is not history. This is now. So close your eyes and listen closely. Because every heartbeat, every breath, could be the moment that decides it all. Chapter 1. A History of Tension. India and Pakistan have been enemies for many years. They fought wars and never truly trusted each other. But in 2025, something new happened. Something dangerous. Something that could change everything. Let me take you back. Back to where it began. After British rule ended in 1947, India and Pakistan were born as two separate nations, but they were born in pain, in blood, and in fear. Families were torn apart. Friends became strangers. Borders were drawn with ink. But they felt like cuts made with knives. Kashmir, a beautiful land of mountains and rivers, became the center of the conflict. Both India and Pakistan wanted it. Both believed it was theirs. And so, they fought. In 1947. Again in 1965. Then in 1971. Thousands died. Millions lived in fear. And still, the border stayed. Cold. Silent, dangerous. Over the years, there were small steps towards peace, talks, meetings, even hope. But the anger never disappeared. It stayed hidden, like fire under the ground, waiting. Then came 2025. The world was already tense. Climate change, food shortages, political games. And then, one morning, a small village near the India-Pakistan border was gone. Destroyed. Flattened by an explosion no one could explain. Indian soldiers blamed Pakistan. Pakistani leaders said, "It wasn't us." But no one believed the other. Not this time. The news spread fast. Headlines screamed, "Attack on the border!" Is war coming again? In the streets, people were angry. In homes, they were afraid. Old stories came back. Old hate returned. And the fire that was sleeping under the ground started to burn again. I remember speaking to Ayan, a teacher from Lahore. He told me, "We don't want war, but we are ready. If we must fight, we will." And in Delhi, Mira, a nurse, whispered through tears, "I don't want to see more dead sons. Not again. Not after what happened to my brother." The border was no longer just a line. It was a wound. Open. Bleeding. This was not just history anymore. This was now. And as the sun rose on the morning after the explosion, tanks moved closer to the line, jets flew low over the skies, and people, millions of people, held their breath. What would happen next? Would the leaders choose peace or fire? Would the world watch again and do nothing? No one knew. But one thing was clear. The 2025 border crisis had begun, and nothing would ever be the same. Chapter 2. The Kashmir Attack. In April, everything changed. It was a quiet morning in Kashmir. The sky was clear. The mountains stood tall, covered in soft white snow. Tourists were drinking tea, taking pictures, smiling, and then a sound tore the sky. A loud explosion shook the ground. Smoke rose high into the air, and screams filled the valley. A bomb, planted near the market, where families walked, where children played. 47 people died that day. Men, women, children. Gone. News spread across the world like fire. People cried. People shouted. The images on TV were hard to watch. Blood on the snow. Bags left behind. Shoes without owners. In Delhi, the government spoke quickly. This was a terror attack, they said. And then they pointed a finger at Pakistan. Pakistan did this, one Indian official said. They planned it. They want war. But in Islamabad, the answer was clear. Number we didn't do it. We don't want war. We want peace. No one listened. Or maybe no one trusted. The border grew darker. Troops moved closer. Guns were ready. Planes waited. People on both sides were afraid. I spoke to a man named Irfan, a shopkeeper in Srinagar. He had seen the attack with his own eyes. I was selling scarves, he said, when the world exploded. He paused. I still hear the cries at night. Mira, the nurse from Delhi, called again. Her voice was shaking. My hospital is full, she said. Too full. We can't take more. Then silence and a soft whisper. Why does this keep happening? Why indeed? India wanted answers. Pakistan wanted respect. But no one wanted to take the first step back. So they moved forward, closer to the edge. Soldiers stood face to face, eyes sharp, fingers near triggers. Just one move, one mistake, and fire would fall from the sky. World leaders watched. America called for calm. China said, stay patient. The United Nations held meetings, but words felt small. Meanwhile, Kashmir cried. The valley, so full of beauty, now smelled of smoke. The rivers, once clear, were now red with pain. And the people? They waited for peace, waited for justice, waited for someone, anyone, to stop what was coming. But no one came, and the world held its breath. The 2025 border crisis was no longer just a political problem. It was human, it was personal, and it had only just begun. Chapter 3. A Dangerous Game. India started to act. First, it stopped all visas. No one could come in. No one could leave. Then, the borders were closed, tight, silent, like a door, slammed shut. Trains stopped. Flights were canceled. Families were trapped on both sides, waiting, worrying, crying. And then, the army moved. Thousands of soldiers, big trucks, tanks with heavy guns, all heading to the north, to the border. The message was clear. India was ready. People across the country stood still, listening to the news. Some cheered, some prayed. In the parliament, one voice shouted, "We will protect our people." Another whispered, "This is a dangerous game." And it was. Because across the line, Pakistan watched, and Pakistan spoke, loud, strong. Any move will bring fire. They showed their missiles. They moved their jets. They sent their own soldiers to the border. The tension was like a wire pulled too tight. One snap, and everything could break. And in the middle of it all were the people. Farmers in small villages, mothers with babies, old men who remembered the last war and the war before that. They knew what could come, and they were afraid. Ali, a young man from Lahore, told me, "My grandfather still has burns from the 1971 war." He looked down. "I don't want my children to see fire in the sky." In Kashmir, the streets were empty. Shops closed, schools silent. But in the silence, there was fear. Mira, yes, the nurse from Delhi, called again. Her voice was tired. "I treated a soldier today," she said. "He smiled. He was brave. But when I looked into his eyes, I saw fear. Real fear. Even the brave were afraid." Because this was not just words now. This was not a movie. This was real. Both sides were waiting. Both sides were angry. And both had weapons that could destroy more than just cities. They could destroy hope. Still, there were voices calling for peace. Teachers, writers, children holding signs. One sign read, "No more war. We want to grow, not burn." But were those voices loud enough? Would anyone listen? The leaders played their moves like a chess game. Each step careful, each step dangerous. But this wasn't a game. This was life. And with each hour, the line between peace and war grew thinner and thinner. The world watched. The world waited. And in the dark, the fire kept growing. Chapter 4. Missiles and Messages. The sky was not quiet anymore. In early May, Pakistan launched missile tests, one after another, loud, fast, terrifying. They lit up the sky like fire in the night. Boom, boom, boom. The message was clear. We are ready. India answered. Fighter jets filled the air, day and night, watching, waiting, preparing. Air patrols flew over the border again and again, low and loud, like thunder rolling through the sky, No one fired the first shot. Not yet. But the weapons were ready. The soldiers were ready. And still, no one blinked. It was like a game, but with no winners, only loss, only pain. The world held its breath. The United Nations called for peace. Leaders from Europe, Africa, and Asia sent messages. Some begged, some warned. America said, this could become the next world war. But India and Pakistan, they didn't stop. They watched each other like hunters in the dark. Mira, yes, Mira, sent me another message. It was a voice note this time. I could hear children crying in the background. She said, we're teaching the children how to hide under the tables, just in case. She stopped, then added, I never thought I'd have to do that. In Lahore, Ali stood on his rooftop and recorded a video. He showed the sky and a trail of smoke from a test missile. His voice was soft. We're not sleeping much these days. We just wait. And in Kashmir, the silence felt loud. No one smiled. No one laughed. People waited for the sound that might change everything. The first bomb, the first scream, the first death. But still, nothing came. Why? Because deep inside, neither side truly wanted war. They wanted power, respect, control. But war, number behind the anger, was fear. Behind the speeches was doubt. And behind the soldiers were families, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, all hoping, all praying. Please, let this end before it begins. The missiles were real. The jets were loud. The messages were strong. But there was still a chance to stop, to sit, to speak, to step back from the fire before it burns the whole world. And as the sun set over the mountains that week, no one knew what tomorrow would bring. War? Peace? Another warning? Or the end of everything? The next move would decide it all. Chapter 5. Civilians in Fear. People living near the border were scared, truly scared. You could feel it in the air, heavy, cold, like a storm, waiting to break. Schools were closed. The classrooms were quiet. No laughing, no lessons, only silence. Families packed their things, bags, blankets, bread, and they left. Some walked for hours. Others drove away in old cars filled with children and fear. They didn't know where they were going. They just knew they had to leave. One father told a reporter, "I don't care about money. I only care about my family. We can't stay here." In village after village, the same story. Doors locked, shops empty, mosques and temples, filled with quiet prayers. And the same question, was whispered again and again. Will there be war? No one knew. But everyone felt it, close, too close. In Amritsar, a woman named Shalini held her baby tight. She looked at the sky every time a plane passed. "I don't want my child to grow up in fear," she said. Her eyes were tired, red, but she didn't cry. Not yet. In Sialkot, across the border, an old man sat outside his house. He had lived through 3 wars. Now he listened to the radio with shaking hands. He whispered, "This feels worse, because we know how bad it can be." The fear wasn't just in words. It was in empty beds at the hospital, in broken glass at a shop, in the quiet dinner tables where families ate without speaking. And the children? They felt it too. One little boy in Kashmir drew a picture with crayons, a house, a sun, and in the sky, a big red X. His teacher asked, "What is that?" He answered, "That's where the bomb will fall." What do you say to that? What can you say? The leaders gave speeches, the media showed numbers, the world talked about strategy and power. But the people, the real people, they just wanted to live, to be safe, to sleep without jumping at every noise. This wasn't just about land or pride anymore. This was about mothers and fathers, children and elders, dreams and fears, real lives, caught in something bigger than them. And as the days passed and the soldiers stood ready, the people prayed for a different kind of war, a war of words, a war of peace, one where no one dies, one where homes don't burn. But no one could promise that, not yet. And so, the people waited in fear, waited in hope. Chapter 6. The Water War. War does not always begin with bullets. Sometimes it begins with water. In late May, India made a decision, a bold one, a quiet one, but deadly. They stopped sharing water. The rivers that flowed from India into Pakistan were blocked. It wasn't a bomb. It wasn't a missile. But it was just as powerful. The Indus River, lifeblood for millions, began to dry. Not completely, but enough to feel the change, enough to bring fear. Pakistan shouted, "This is a crime, a war against nature." India replied, "You attack our people. We control our rivers." This wasn't politics anymore. This touched life. Without water, the fields turned brown. The wheat didn't grow. The animals cried for clean water. Children walked farther each day, just to fill one small jug. A farmer named Bilal in southern Punjab showed his land to a reporter. He pointed at the cracked ground and said, "This was my life. Now it's dust." His wife stood beside him, holding their baby, silent, worried. In Delhi, a government official smiled at the news. "We are using pressure, without war. But remember Mira, the nurse, had a different view. She called again. "I thought we were better than this," she said. Her voice was heavy. "This isn't a weapon. This is poison." She was right. Because when water becomes a weapon, no one wins. Even inside India, people began to protest. Let the rivers flow. Water is life, not war. But the leaders stayed silent, strong, unmoving. Pakistan, desperate and angry, made a threat. "If this continues, we will answer. You block water, we will not stay quiet." And again, the border heated up. Missiles were shown. Jets flew higher. And the people, they suffered. In a small village near Multan, a school had to close. No clean water, no toilets, no safety. A girl named Sana, only 10 years old, wrote a message on the blackboard before leaving. "Please stop this. We need water more than hate." Her teacher took a picture of it, and it went viral. Millions saw her words. Millions shared her cry. Because this war, this water war, was not between soldiers. It was between right and wrong, between survival and power. And as the rivers ran dry, so did hope. Unless someone stepped forward, unless someone chose peace. The world waited. Again. Held its breath. Again. Because when water disappears, what comes next? Floods of fire or rivers of peace? That was the question no one could yet answer. Chapter 7. The World Reacts. The world was finally waking up. Too late? Maybe. But still, they reacted. The fear had grown too loud, too real. Missiles in the sky, jets in the air, and rivers turned into weapons. It was no longer just a regional problem. It was a global threat. From Tehran, Iran sent a message. A soft voice, but a strong one. "We call for peace," they said. "Talk before more people die." Their words were honest, simple, powerful. Next came China. They didn't whisper, they spoke with weight. "Both India and Pakistan must stop," they said. "This crisis affects us all." And Russia, they agreed. "We know war. We know loss," said one Russian leader. "Peace is always the better path." And the United Nations? They held meetings, made statements, but their voice felt weak. A group of leaders sitting in tall rooms, while children walked miles for clean water. A vote was made. A resolution passed. But nothing changed. Nothing. Back in Kashmir, the skies stayed gray, the soldiers stayed ready, and the fear stayed strong. The world spoke. But India and Pakistan didn't listen. Not yet. The clock kept ticking. Each day, closer to something terrible. Each hour, heavier than the last. Social media exploded. Hashtags like #NotoWar and #WaterIsLife spread fast. Millions of people from all countries shared photos, videos, voices. One video showed a little girl in Pakistan saying, "My garden is dry. Can we please stop fighting?" Another showed a boy in India drawing two flags, India and Pakistan, joined by a heart. People cared. People tried. But governments, they were slow. Too slow. A famous peace worker, Layla Amini from Iran, said it best. She stood at a protest and shouted, "Where are the leaders? Where are the brave ones? This is not about borders anymore. This is about life." The crowd cheered, but the silence from official rooms stayed cold. Even Mira, our nurse from Delhi, felt it. She sent one final voice message. "I'm tired," she said. "Tired of fear. Tired of waiting. Tired of seeing children who should be laughing, hiding instead." Her voice broke. "I just want someone to do something. Please." The world was watching. The world was hoping. But the question remained. Would anyone act in time? Would anyone stop this before it became the war everyone feared? Or would history repeat itself again and again and again? No one knew, but time was running out. Chapter 8. What the People Want. The leaders shouted, but the people whispered something different. Not everyone wanted war. Not everyone wanted fire. Some Indians were angry. Yes, they wanted justice. They wanted strength. They said, "They attacked us. We must answer." But others were tired. Tired of fear. Tired of waiting. Tired of the same pain coming back again. In Pakistan, it was the same. Some cried out, "We must protect our land," but many just wanted it all to stop. A mother in Karachi said, "My son has exams next week, but all he talks about is bombs." She held his school books in her hand. "Books, not bullets," she whispered. And the young people, the students, the workers, the dreamers, they were different. They didn't want revenge. They wanted peace. Real peace. In Mumbai, college students held candles in the street. They sang songs, shared food, and carried signs. "We are neighbors, not enemies. Let us live. No more war." In Lahore, young artists painted murals on the walls. Bright colors, soft faces, open hands, peace doves flying over flags, hope drawn in light. But inside the parliaments, inside the big buildings where decisions are made, there was no music, no article, only fire. The leaders used strong words, cold words, words that made people feel proud, but also afraid. One Indian leader said, "We will not be the first to blink." Another in Pakistan replied, "If they come closer, they will see our strength." Not one of them spoke about peace. Not one said, "Let's talk." It was all about power, honor, victory. But the people? They wanted something simpler. To wake up without fear. To send their children to school. To eat dinner in peace. To laugh again. Sana, remember the little girl from before? She drew another picture. This time, it was two hands. One from India, one from Pakistan. And between them, a river, full of fish, birds, and life. Her teacher shared it online. And soon, thousands of people saw it, liked it, shared it. Because deep inside, that's what most people wanted. Not to win, just to live. And as tanks waited, and planes flew, and the world held its breath, one question grew louder. Can the voice of the people be louder than the voice of war? We didn't know the answer. Not yet. But we hoped. We hoped that someone, somewhere, was listening. Chapter 9. The Nuclear Shadow. There was something darker now, something heavier, above everything else. A shadow, a nuclear shadow. Because both India and Pakistan have nuclear weapons. Big ones, fast ones, powerful enough to destroy cities in seconds. And everyone knew it. Experts went on television. They spoke in calm voices, but their words were terrifying. One wrong move, they said, just one, could end millions of lives. Not thousands, millions. People listened. But were the leaders listening too? That was the question. In bunkers and military rooms, fingers hovered near buttons. Cold rooms, flashing lights, eyes watching screens. Every second, each country had plans, maps, targets, and if war started, those plans would come alive. But here's the truth. Once a nuclear weapon is used, there's no going back, no pause, no fix, just smoke, silence, and ashes. Still, no one backed down. Not India, not Pakistan. Pride stood taller than fear. Anger burned brighter than caution. One Indian general said, "We are ready for any level of war." A Pakistani commander answered, "Let them come. They will regret it." These weren't movie lines. They were real. And they were dangerous. At home, people shook their heads. A boy in Delhi told his mother, "Will we all die?" She didn't answer. She couldn't. A woman in Islamabad hid her wedding dress in a bag, just in case they had to run. She whispered, "I wanted to wear it in spring. Now I just want to live." And the world watched in fear. Nuclear nations on the edge of war. History had seen it before, but this time it felt closer, more real, more possible, because the shadow was growing. The missiles were ready. The mines were hard. The clock was ticking. And yet, deep inside, everyone knew No one wins a nuclear war. Not India, not Pakistan, not anyone. Because after the fire comes the cold. After the light comes the dark. And after the war comes nothing. So why? Why keep walking toward the edge? Why play with such fire? That's what the people asked. The scientists, the teachers, even some soldiers. But no one had a good answer. Only silence, only fear. And still, the shadow stayed, floating above the border, above the cities, above the hopes of millions. Waiting. Would someone stop it? Would someone step back before the sky turned black? No one knew. Not yet. But one thing was certain. If that line was crossed, the world would never, ever be the same. Chapter 10. A line in the dust. Now, the world watches, eyes wide, hearts heavy, breath held. Every second feels like a question. Every silence feels like a warning. Will India and Pakistan choose war or choose wisdom? No one knows. Not yet. But everyone feels it. We are standing on the edge, and beneath our feet there is a line. Not a line on a map. Not a border written with ink. This line is in the dust, drawn by history, shaped by fear. Waiting to be crossed. One step forward, and the world could fall. One step back, and maybe, just maybe, we survive. The leaders are silent now. Too many words have already been said. Too many threats have already flown. Now, it's time to choose. And the choice is not small. Because this is not just about politics anymore. It's about people. People who want to sleep without sirens. People who want to drink clean water. People who want to laugh, to live. In a small village near the border, a child plays with dust. She draws shapes with her fingers, circles, hearts, a sun. She doesn't know about war. She just wants the sun to rise tomorrow. In a city far away, a man prays in the dark. He lights a candle. He says, "Please, let them see the truth." And somewhere in between, in some secret room, the decision is being made. Will the tanks move? Will the skies break open? Or will someone be brave enough to stop? Not brave to fight, brave enough to not fight. Because peace, real peace, takes more courage than war ever did. We stand at this moment, not just as countries, but as humans. South Asia waits. The rivers wait. The children wait. And far beyond the borders, the whole world listens. Because if India and Pakistan fall into war, others may follow. But if they choose peace, others may rise. This is the line in the dust, the final line. And once it is crossed, there's no turning back. So, let the voices of the people rise. Let the dreams of the children speak louder than the drums of war. Let wisdom win. Let fire sleep. Let hope breathe again. Because the future of South Asia, and maybe even the world, hangs in the balance. Right here, right now.